T'es largement dans le... Allez, viens voir tonton ce qu'il jouait. Ça va peut-être te permettre de mieux voir, de mieux comprendre certaines choses. Bon, on va avoir la prétention, bien sûr, d'être arrogant, tout ce qu'on veut, mais... Bon, après, c'est pas un... Je fais le barbeau et j'ai...
T'es même rendu fou au début sur les...
Ah, c'est pour ça, en fait, il faut arriver à...
Et là, tu dis directement en étant sur Madden, genre si je vais sur la franchise et que je vais sur ton nom...
Non, tu te mets sur mon statut en ami sur le PSN. Normalement, tu vas avoir une petite caméra. Ouais, dans mon couple d'amis, tu vois, normalement, tu as une petite caméra sur là, je sais pas, avec quelqu'un qui regarde. Après, c'est quoi, j'ai fait une fabriquer vidéo.
Mais t'es pas en ligne.
Bah, va sur YouTube. Ça va.
Je suis un peu mode.
Here we go. Green 39. Green 39. They'll try and start this drive in the air. And they have the football and will take over at the 24-yard line. That's now his second interception in as many weeks from his linebacker position.
Premier drive, j'ai eu l'impression de mener. Il envoie une merde et je sais pas l'interception. C'est bon, c'est cool.
Is he picking up man to man? Is he having to run with a running back or a tight end? In any event, great eyes, head on a swivel, and excellent hands.
Yeah, versatility and showing those hands. Out comes the
Ce que je te
Saints
disais là, tu regardes,
offensive
j'ai
unit
joué
and
un
the
SB
NFC
dive, 3
playoff
receveurs, un
race.
tight
Let's
end.
have a look at it.
Ils ont
And
un
it's
bon
right
jeu
about
comme
this
ça.
time of year you start to say this is when the cream rises to the top. Week 15, 3 weeks left to go, but still plenty to be determined.
And I think for most teams, the obvious is to try and be the number 1 or number 2 seed. But when you look at it across the league and throughout the history of trying to get to this... Super Bowl, the teams you really fear are the ones that get hot and sometimes sneak in at a 5 or a 6 seed, because we've seen those teams actually get to the Super Bowl and occasionally win it.
Yeah, you think of the Giants a couple of times. Steelers have done it. You're right. It has happened and will happen more in the future, I'm sure.
Defensively here, you're facing a top 5 team in terms of points scored in the NFL. So when they're that high-powered, you've got to find a way to hold them under 20, because to me, that's the magic number. 20 points scored, you give yourself your best chance to win.
So if they're up around 24, 28, 30, they could be in some trouble.
And I think so, because then you turn it into a shootout, and that means your offense has to keep pace.
He throws and he hits the slant route to Thomas. And they work this near the 5. He'll be stopped at the 6. It's a really nice 15-yard pickup, and now it's 1st and goal.
I don't care who you put on him. He's going to be a handful in one-on-one throws.
Yeah, right now, you're right. They're in man-to-man. Maybe need some safety help.
I would say that'd be a good idea. Double team him somehow. I'm going to have to make someone else beat me rather than let him shred my defense.
A first opportunity upcoming in the red zone for the Saints. They've got a 1st and goal to go at the 7. Try to pound it in. Kamara powers through. And he'll barrel his way into the end zone for a Saint touchdown. A great effort there. His 26th touchdown, drawing even with Marshall Faulk for the 4th most in a single season. And the Saints have taken the early lead. And that's what they've done. They lead the league in points per game this season, but it's been quick strike ability as we saw on that drive.
I think they're actually intimidating defenses because they're back on their heels right away, wondering where it's going to come from, how they're going to hit them. This group is well organized, well coached, and extremely confident in what they do.
And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. Here comes the Tampa Bay offense now heading back out onto the field. The partner, just looking at some of the struggles they've had this season, the playoffs are not in their future. As they start to peer toward the offseason, what moves might they make?
I think the running back position, and I know we talk all the time about the NFL being a passing league, but the teams that run the ball effectively, they're the ones that go deep into the playoffs and go to the Super Bowl. They have to upgrade here. And you and I both know in recent years in the draft, people have shied away from taking a runner early, but there's that special one there.
And now off to the races, down the right side. Touchdown, Tampa Bay. A big play there. His 5th touchdown now on the year. And the Buccaneers are an extra point away from tying up this football game. Well, go ahead and strap in, partner. Less than 2 minutes in, had the score on the one side. A quick answer, though, to get the equalizer.
Sometimes you get that sense of urgency that ratchets up, right? When you give up an early touchdown like that, you just know you're like, okay, how do we go back and equalize things? Can we get it done fast? And they absolutely did. Essentially, we're back to even, aren't we?
Out is the Saints offense now as they get ready to take over here. And they're hoping to redo their efforts in the last drive when they got into the end zone.
And just think of what it's like now on the sideline, because when you score a touchdown, you have to go over and look at the tablet and see what you did on the last drive. When you scored points, it's a whole lot better view than when you're trying to figure out how to fix things there.
Now it looks like we'll get a timeout as there's a Saints player down here on the field. We'll check on his status when we get back. To throw on second down. Moran. The throw to the left side, caught by Coleman. And able to get this one across the 45 before he's brought down. It's his first catch, and it'll be good for 15 and a first down.
Good throw, good catch, but I really like the route. The drag and being able to run away from defenders, hard to stick with them for that long.
Yeah, better against man than zone, or
better against man, because now you're running away from someone and you're not running into a defensive player in another zone.
Now, meanwhile, a pass that should have been intercepted, but it winds up falling incomplete.
And that's one he's got to be happy to have back. There wasn't a hole open in the zone.
You'd have to think on early downs like that first down there, need to be a little bit more careful.
Yeah, fortunately for him, got a couple more downs to play with.
An incomplete pass on first down. That leads to a 2nd and 10. Throwing again. Moran. And incomplete there. A nice hit. Jars the ball free and brings up 3rd down.
The beauty of being able to play a zone defense when you can sit back and see the ball coming out of the quarterback's hands, guess what? Creates a lot of confusion, kind of a muddle in the middle of the field where you can go make a play on the football.
Now they face a 3rd and 10 after back-to-back incompletions. Operating from the gun, Moran. And he knocks the ball away, and it falls incomplete.
Certainly looked like they were getting ready to convert there on 3rd down, but what an effort to get his hand on that one, knock it away, and brings up a 4th down decision.
He steps into this one, and this is a rocket. And Tampa Bay trots out there now. And following that long touchdown pass, a one-play drive last time, let's see if the defense, you know they're ready. They don't want that to happen again.
And you would have thought they would have been ready the last time. That's what you work on all the time. Make sure that no one gets
nowhere to go here. He lost the football. But it looks like a Buccaneer was able to corral it. Yes, the Bucs have it. Tampa Bay keeps the possession.
plays like this when the ball comes free, it's often unusual for the team that lost it to get it back. Because this is a quarterback. The ball gets away from him. Everyone else is trying to execute what they're supposed to do on offense. They're usually looking in the other direction, downfield, or have moved away from him. In this case, though, a teammate is able to come up with the ball.
Set! Green 30. They'll look to throw. And that one got tipped. Kind of threw everything off. It brings up third. And Charles, got to like what this defense has been able to do these last couple of plays.
Yeah, they get the sack on first down, then they force the incomplete pass. Now they're just a play away from getting the football right back, but it's a big play. They've got to hold up.
An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on third down.
Hurry up, here we go. Green 39.
He'll look to throw. Right side caught by Jackson. And he'll get it up to the 12-yard line here. They'll get a couple yards on that one, and that's going to bring up a fourth down. Instead of throwing it downfield, Charles, they just tried to dump it underneath there. You like the call?
I do. I think it's a high percentage play because you get the completion, and what you're counting on is your back to use his legs and his elusiveness to make people miss and pick up the first down. In this case, it didn't happen.
The offense and Alvin Kamara heading back onto the field. Last week, over 100 yards, 3 touchdowns. We were talking with him on the field before the game. He said simply, I was in a groove. He obviously was.
And I think he's been a little modest about that, being in a groove. That's a big-time game right there. And I think he feels like his entire team is coming along with him because they're creating spaces and holes for him to run through. He's making people miss, running through tackles. They are locked in a big way and confident about this game as well.
Another good run there for a guy who, remember, on Wednesday was named NFC Offensive Player of the Week for what he did a week ago.
Yeah, and you know it takes some solid runs and some extra special runs in order to win that type of an award. I think he's locked in and wants to get it done a second time.
Call it a gain of 4 there, so it sets up a big play here, 3rd and a yard.
It's really simple to say that they know their identity, that they are a passing team. But one of the reasons that they're so successful, they know how to mix in the run and make sure that they keep the defense off balance and not able to just simply say, let's go get the quarterback and disrupt things.
And he's going to have the first down at about the 38. They only get 2 there, but on 3rd and 1, that's all they needed to keep the drive going.
And while it didn't work very well on that play, defenders on 3rd and short know it's going to be a quick read. And really, the quarterback's just going to turn around and hand it off. So that way, you're able to diagnose the play and try and get to the point of attack. But when you're dealing with a fullback, it's hard to knock him backwards.
And down he goes, a Buccaneer sack. Randy Gregory in there to get him. Sack number 14 for him on the year. They got to figure this out. They got to figure him out. 4 sacks last week. Now 1 in the first quarter. What do?
Well, great pass rushers usually have a go-to move, but the best pass rushers, they have counters to their go-to move. So they'll show you that. Then when you adjust, they counter it and still get to the quarterback. And you don't pile up that many sacks. We had 4 in the game last week without having some go-to moves with counters.
So they jumped on the left side of that line.
And you know when you're at the end spot,
second down.
You are like in the starting blocks, waiting for the pistol to fire and go, and he jumped a little bit too early.
Looking to throw on 2nd down. Moran over the middle, the catch by Coleman. And he showcases the spin, a pretty good gain before he's taken down. They'll wind up getting 10 back as that sets him up for 3rd down. And that's one of his advantages of a passer, is it not? With his height, setting back there in the pocket, firing it over the middle, he can really see everything clearly.
It is, and I know that other quarterbacks get it done different ways, all right? You don't have to be his height to make a great play. But what he does is he takes away having to make those slide steps in the pocket to find angles to throw the ball through. He just throws right over the top of it because he can see everything, and sometimes that saves time and gets the ball to a receiver quicker.
On 1st down, Moran setting up the receiver screen here to Thomas. It's a pickup of 16 there, and it'll lead to a new set of downs.
I like watching the wide receiver screen because it's a real teamwork play. Because guess what? The guy catching the ball, he'll get all the credit. but how about the people up to block in front of him, either fellow receivers or offensive linemen? That makes that play a really nice timing play, and sometimes it can break big.
Now a first down carry. It's Kamara. And able to get him inside the 5 here, just inside the 5 to about the 4. It's a 7-yard carry to set them up with a 2nd and 3. If you start assessing what went wrong last week, Charles, in their loss.
From what worked. That's not the reason the game was lost. Running the football over time, when you do it consistently, usually translates into wins.
And they're hoping to do it consistently here. And the hole closes quickly here. He can fight only to about the 4. Just a yard on the pickup there, and it'll leave him with a 3rd and 3.
And the big fella stuffed that one up in a big way. I think doubling him has to be a priority because you can't move up to the next level if you don't take care of him first.
So 2 of 2 on 3rd down conversions on this drive, and now they face a 3rd and 3 here. And he's got his man, that's Snead. Touchdown, New Orleans. Willie Snead with touchdown number 8 on the year. And the Saints are able to cash in for 6. And all about timing there on that short slant, Charles.
Exactly right. That was timed up so well. The route, the throw, touchdown.
Lutz good on the extra point. And that makes the score 14-7. A 10-play drive that time. And it ends with a touchdown for New Orleans. Lutz now to kick this one away. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. And Tampa Bay trots out there now. And on the last go-around, they really couldn't get anything going.
They had to punt from deep inside their own territory, which means you're going to lose the field position battle as a general rule. What they're looking for now is a little more consistency, move the ball at least a few times on offense, get a couple of first downs, and hopefully flip the field.
Yeah, just something to build off of. That's what they're looking for here.
Here we go now.
Here's Thomas Rawls with his first carry. And he's able to take this one up to the 35-yard line. Give him 10 yards on the pickup, and it'll be 2nd and very short.
On any explosive run, you can almost feel the ground shaking, and that's from the offensive linemen creating space for their runners. I had an old coach tell me before, they always told his runners, run around the offensive line in pregame. Get used to the ground shaking so you don't trip and fall when it happens in a game.
On 2nd down, Rawls. And there is nowhere for him to cut back as he's taken down in the backfield. Call that a loss of 5 yards on the play. And that'll make it 3rd down.
We all have habits. We can be somewhat predictable, and you know me pretty well on 2nd down and short. What I like to say?
Play action.
Yeah, without a doubt. I thought that was a great spot to call it. Instead, didn't go their way, did it?
No, defense sold out for the run. Worked out well. Out of the gun now on 3rd down. Open man has got it. It's complete. Back now with Charles Davis. I'm Brandon Gaudin. It's the Bucs in possession of the football as we begin the 2nd quarter. And they're on the move here. They've got it 1st and 10. So the big play moves them all the way across midfield to the 40 now for 1st and 10. First down, this is Rawls. Takes this to the 32, maybe the 31, and then the defense rallying quickly after that broken tackle. 8 yards on the pickup, and now they'll have some options on 2nd and short.
That play wasn't quite as big as the play that preceded it, but still, gotta like the way they're moving the football, partner.
Absolutely. Pretty good room to run on that last play.
Yeah, they didn't get a first down, but still, you'll take runs like that each and every time, won't you?
Now let's go. 3-19.
They'll drop the throw. Under pressure, and he will go down. Sacked back at the 38.
They just gave up a sack there, and if I'm not mistaken, they gave up 4 last week, didn't they?
Yes. And just looking really porous, aren't they?
They really are, and I'm wondering if they're going to have to start thinking about keeping the tight end in, maybe a back, someone to help assist, because right now, their quarterback's been getting hit a lot in the last couple of games.
Here we go now. Green 39. Green 39.
He'll look to throw. Finding his safety valve here. That's complete. And here he'll be brought down a little shy of the 35 at the 36. It'll be a pickup of just 2. And that's going to make it 4th down.
One hallmark of good defenses is understanding the game, understanding positioning, and tackling immediately in the secondary after catches. I think we just saw that on display right there.
Got to him before he ever had a chance to think about turning it upfield. These kickers now, it's like we take them for granted. Kicks like that used to be such a big deal, and now you just expect them to make it.
Yeah, you're exactly right, and we shouldn't take them for granted, but I have a theory about it. You want to hear it?
Yep.
They are more athletic now than ever before. Talk about kickers. Trace their backgrounds, trace their histories. You'll find that they were big-time athletes all along, but their kicking was so prevalent that we made them specialists.
Well, and now those 50-plus yarders seem easy for some reason. They begin on the ground with Kamara. And he'll wind up with about 6, up past the 30 to the 31.
He did have the touchdown run earlier, but not a heck of a lot more than that throughout this game.
No, not at all. In fact, I would say that this defense has done as good of a job on him as they have on any runner in recent memory. On 2nd down, Kamara. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. It's a 10-yard pickup, and it moves the chains.
Tremendous blocking by the interior of the offensive line. They didn't just gash him there. They blasted a gaping hole for him to gallop through. I think if he comes back to the huddle, he better be giving them a whole lot of credit and thanking them for that much space to rumble.
They go play action here on 1st down. And it pops free. The collision there jarred the ball loose and brings up 2nd down.
That's very well timed there defensively because it's not a bad throw, but the collision came at the exact time he was reaching to bring in the football. Really, really well done.
Decent offense, just better defense. I think you're right. Here now is 2nd and 10, again from the 41. Throwing again on 2nd and 10. Moran. Wide open receiver complete. And they'll get this well past midfield before being stopped just before the 35. 23 yards on the play.
The goal for any offense versus a zone defense, find the holes where guys are available and put the ball on the receiver before any defender can step up and fill it.
They did it well there. Perfectly executed crossing route. Crossing route complete. It's Thomas. And they're going to be set up down around the 15-yard line. And a nice gain of 21 yards. They were in zone defensively, went with a crossing route. It's always interesting to watch that chess match.
Yeah, and I think safeties don't mind crossing routes against zone because eventually you're going to run into their territory, and that's when they lick their chops in order to get the big hit or a play on the ball.
Offensively, nice execution to find a hole, make the catch.
When you find that kind of yardage, you couldn't be more confident as a ball carrier. And guess what? You're going to go back and tell your offensive coordinator, I'd like to keep carrying it, thank you.
To throw on 2nd down. Moran. That is caught at the 7-yard line. And he'll be brought down this time at the 5-yard line. First target, first catch at a 1st down.
One thing you're hoping for when you run drag routes, you're able to hit a receiver in stride, and he can pick up a lot of yardage after the catch. But in this situation, the defense was effective, able to stop him before he could get a good head of steam going.
He'll get it up the middle. And he's maybe going to get this back to the 4, but that's about all.
I know the scouting report on him is that he doesn't possess the eye discipline to be an elite linebacker. What that means is his ability to read, react, and make a play. But on that one, he looked like one of those guys.
Line of scrimmage, again the 4-yard line. 2nd and goal. They'll give it to him up the middle. And he takes it across and into the end zone. Touchdown, Saints. A great play there with touchdown number 27. That ties Priest Holmes for the 3rd most in a single year. And the Saints add on to their lead. And always a good first half when you can hit pay dirt twice.
And it never hurts to have that good feeling as the game moves on, just think about halftime. If that's all he gets, he'll just sit there at the half and think, all right, 2 already. I can get some more. And it'll be encouraging his offensive line to create some space.
This is taken at the 3. And a nice return sets him up pretty good here at the 30-yard line. With the Bucs offense making their way back out on the field, let's take a look at the playoff picture, Charles, coming into the weekend in the NFC. So 1st and 10 now from the 30. And fortunate to get points on the board last time. They had to hit a really long field goal to do so.
The kickers in today's game are so good and so skilled and hit from distances that we almost start to take them for granted. And we can't do that. That's a long field goal that they got 3 points out of. They've got to feel good about that. And they better make sure they love him up because he's helped them out.
Yeah, now we'll see if that offense can put 6 on the board here. We'll see.
Here we go. 3-19. 3-19.
Off the play fake, he'll look to throw. And he'll be hit as he releases it, and that'll fall incomplete.
This defense has been very disruptive early on as they force another one to go awry.
Seems to be the front and the back end. Pass rush, they've been able to get home, and they're taking the ball away in coverage as well.
I love how you put it together. The front and back working in sync, only way to play good defense.
Back to throw. This is caught by Jackson. And he slips up past the 45 before being tackled. They'll look to throw now on 1st down. Rush coming, and he's taken down. Demario Davis in there to get him, and that's sack number 6 for him on the year.
I'm starting to feel for that quarterback back there. I mean, you know me. Normally, don't have a lot of empathy for the QB, right? In this case, definitely. He's been on constant duress this entire game. I don't know how he's surviving back there.
And to think, there's still a long way to go in this football game. They'll run it now out of the gun. He had a great move, but he'll still be stopped shy of midfield. They're back now to the original line of scrimmage thanks to that 8-yard gain. 3rd down now to follow.
And there we saw one of the downsides of blitzing during a rundown because sometimes you get out of your gaps. You don't fit the run quite as well because you're headed towards the ball carrier with abandon.
He'll drop to throw. Throwing for his running back, and he's got him complete. And now the Saints are going to take a timeout on defense. They'll have 2 remaining as we step aside here in this 2nd quarter. Here's Brian Anger now as he'll punt it away for the 2nd time. And now the Saints get set to trot out there. And for them, a touchdown their last go-around. Obviously, they'll be hoping to do that again.
And when you start plotting for this drive, when you start thinking to yourself, okay, what are we going to do? You don't go away from what you did before because that worked. But you have to be prepared for wrinkles and counters because you know they'll make some adjustments.
7 yards, the pickup on the pitch and catch. We remind you that coming up at halftime, we'll send you cross-state to Orlando, where Jonathan Coachman will have all the stats and all the scores from games going on during another busy Sunday in the National Football League. Again, this is Kamara. And they'll get it up just short of the 45 at the 44. 17 yards on the pickup there. The drive will continue. It's a 1st down.
Boy, he does it at a high level, doesn't he? Because when I watch him, I think of his vision. Straight ahead, peripheral. Also has that sense of where holes are going to be before they actually open. I think that helps set him apart from many of the other backs in the league.
On 1st and 10, Moran brought in left side by Snead. Back-to-back nice gains. That one for 14 yards and another 1st.
Well, coaches always talk about finding balance on offense. I don't think you can get much more balance than this. Big-time run, big-time pass.
A 1-2 combination. Looked pretty good.
How about that? Let's see if they can continue to take that kind of a punch, though.
throwing on first down. Moran. Caught by Snead over the middle. And he gets this down deep into Tampa Bay territory. And give him a gain of 37.
There will always be a place for methodically marching the ball downfield. But when you can pick it up in big chunks and strike like that and have explosive plays, that's often the difference in winning and losing. Those types of plays that can knock a defense off balance, that'll drive a team towards a victory.
They'll try and run for it on first and goal. And he is in for the score. Touchdown, New Orleans. A great effort there with his 28th touchdown, drawing level with Sean Alexander for the second most in a single year. And the Saints now add 6 to their lead. This is becoming quite the half he's had here.
Remember in our pregame meetings, they talked about wanting to run the football and staying with it? Well, when you're scoring this many touchdowns, there's no reason to go away from it, is there? They are off to a fantastic start. They hope it continues.
3 already for him. This fielded at the 2. And a good return as he'll be stopped just shy of the 30-yard line. Now the Buccaneer offense set to take over again. And what do you think goes on here in this situation? If you got the football, you're trailing, you're back in your own territory with just a little...
Mention they're down. They're trying to get back into the game. But you got to figure if something goes wrong, you may have put yourself in a spot where you may not be able to come back in the second half. Managing risk, this is a big decision here.
Now let's go. 3-19.
Now he'll look to throw here on 2nd and 10. And this time he's got the hook up. It's complete. And now we won't see a play on first down. We're going to get a timeout instead as they get the stoppage with just under 50 seconds remaining in half number 1. So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a 1st and 10.
Here we go now. 3-19. 3-19.
Back to throw now on first down. Now they set up the screen. That's complete. And he gets this one to midfield before he's brought down. Now hold everything here. We're going to get a timeout by the offense as they'll stop it with just over 40 seconds to go in the first half.
Now let's go. Blue 90. Blue 90.
From the midfield stripe, they'll look to throw. And his throw is going to be incomplete. The intended target was Chris Godwin, and that'll bring up 2nd down.
It's been my observation there's been a nice variety of play calling defensively. You and I often talk about an offense's ability to keep a defense off balance with what they're doing. I think the converse has been true in this game.
I think you're right. They seem to have gone off tendency quite a bit, but only the second quarter. A lot of time to change things. And they'll get him down as he's inside the 40. He's got his first catch here before halftime, and it goes for a first down.
We didn't need to ask around the league, but we got to confirm this guy's a good player. They've got to find a way to get him more involved, call a few more plays that target him.
Absolutely, because here we are toward the end of the first half, and that's the first target, not just the first catch, first target. He's going to flip one out here to his running back. And he's taken down inside the 30. Now a timeout signaled for, and they'll get it with 10 seconds to go before halftime. So even though it's first down, here's the field goal unit on now to try to get 3 before halftime. He made his first attempt, this from 45. And Bryant's kick is good. And that'll get the deficit down to 15. So the 3 points here, they're still down, but they put somewhat of a dent into that lead going into the break.
Anything helps when you're trying to chip away at a lead, but they do know that they're going to need a little bit better effort in the second half.
Likely time for one final snap as they start out 1st and 10. Now Darkwa. And he'll fight forward to about the 27-yard line. So we have reached half. You want the third quarter already? No problem. Let's do it. Set now to go for the third quarter. The Saints have the lead and set to receive the kick. Out come the Saints now. They'll go on offense first here to begin the third quarter. This is sort of what you would call a put-away drive. They score here, especially a touchdown. It's almost out of reach.
It certainly feels that way, and I think that they're going to call their plays accordingly because what you really want to do, even though you know the scoreboard is still up there and the game's going to go on, in fact, you can take the spirit away from another team. That their drive and will to come back and win can be taken with another score right here.
It's still third quarter, but you just get that feel.
Yeah, they're teetering right there on the brink, aren't they? But it was stopped on that play. We've had plenty of carries all afternoon. Every now and then the defense is going to win one, but I don't think they'll shy away from handing it to them the rest of the game.
Well, they had the run for no gain. Now they'll try again from the 25 on 2nd and 10. Looking to throw on 2nd down. Moran on target over the middle to Hill. And they work this well upfield across the 45. A good pickup there, a 22.
And there's a completion to the tight end. And look at the size of these players nowadays. At that spot, 6'4", 6'5", and up. A lot of guys used to be basketball players, somehow came back to football. And that's really good for the game of football. You're getting better athleticism, great hand-eye coordination, guys who know how to control their bodies when they run their routes.
Off-play action. Moran. He couldn't quite hold it. Got hit. Ball pops out. Incomplete.
Anytime a defense can sit back in a zone like that, it tends to create a lot of congestion in the middle of the field. Makes it very hard to slot one in.
Looked like I-4 at rush hour in your hometown of Orlando, Florida. An absolute mess. After the incomplete pass, here now is 2nd and 10. To throw again. Moran. Over the middle, and it's incomplete. The tight end, Josh Hill, was the target, and it's 3rd down.
When you see passes knocked down by those guys that are called the frustrated fullbacks, the linebackers, you know that in their zone coverage, they were able to drop, see the ball thrown, and react to it very quickly.
So back-to-back incompletions, and that has them staring at a 3rd and 10. From the gun, Moran. Oh, a battle for it here, and this will be caught. That goes for a gain of 31.
I know they had good coverage downfield, but you have to wonder, on 3rd and long like that, how does that happen, that they can get that far downfield and complete a pass? You got to guard the sticks, understand where you are, so it's almost like someone fell asleep at the switch, and now that the play's been completed, they've got to dust themselves off on defense, pick it up, and figure out how to not let that happen again.
So the big play gets them all the way down to the outskirts of the red zone here for 1st and 10. A man who's been busy this afternoon is Kamara again. And they've got it inside the 10 at the 8. Back-to-back nice gains. That one for 14 yards and another first.
Now, this is an example of breaking down a defense because on a lot of these runs, he's getting past the point of attack, and guess what he's doing? Forcing the secondary guys to have to make a lot of tackles.
They'll try and run for it on 1st and goal. And he'll work his way closer to the goal line as he's got 5 down to the 3.
3rd quarter and you've got the lead. You're not ready to go into that 4-minute offense to close the game out, but a running game can really benefit your team right now.
So the ball position now at the 3. Here's 2nd and goal. Operating from the gun, Moran. And he'll score. Touchdown, New Orleans. It's their quarterback. His 2nd touchdown of the afternoon. And the Saints add on to their lead.
That drive that really increased their cushion felt very military to me. Very precise, methodical. That's one of the words you've taught me. And they just got it done.
And slowly but surely now starting to pull away a little bit. Things looking good for them here in the 3rd quarter.
Not only pulling away, but you mentioned that slowly but surely. You also drain clock, too, with a drive like that. So you really give yourself an advantage.
This is taken at the 3. And he'll be brought down at the 23, make it the 24-yard line. With the Bucs offense making their way back out on the field, let's take a look at the playoff picture, Charles, coming into the weekend in the NFC. They're down in this game. A chance for the offense, though, to put something on the board, get some momentum here in half two.
Try and get things kick-started for them. And you know at the half, they discussed how they were going to get that done. This is where scripting comes into play a lot of the time.
How many plays do you script coming out of the second?
Most of the time in the first half, you're scripting 12 to 16. I think in the second half, you're really scripting more like 8 to 10. Kind of a starter or an opener, whatever terminology they use. Just something to get you off to a quick start.
Here we go. 3-19.
From the shotgun, he'll look to throw. Muscling free near the 40. Left side here, that's complete to Godwin. 12 yards there as they keep this drive rolling. It's another first down. This quarterback now 11 of 16 through the air. It's 1st and 10.
Here we go.
The play action fake. They'll look to throw. And it pops free. The collision there jarred the ball loose and brings up 2nd down. We have not seen a whole lot of wide open receivers. Everything seemingly has been contested.
And that's another nice job there to force an incompletion. They've been very cohesive, knowing each other's moves all game long, and they've been on the spot just about every time.
And they've held them in check on the scoreboard. Back to throw now on 2nd and 10. And that one got tipped, kind of threw everything off. It brings up 3rd.
Anytime a ball's thrown in the middle of the field and it's popped up in the air, I expect someone to catch. It doesn't matter whether it's offense or defense because there's usually a great amount of bodies in that part of the field. In this case, no one came up with it.
Hurry up, here we go. 3-19.
Now back to throw. Got his man complete over the middle. It's Bowers. And he'll get up to the 43-yard line.
Didn't get the first down, but I have to say I do like the call. I like what they were trying to do. Try and hit your receiver on the run and see if he can pick it up. Keep it on his feet, get a little rack yardage.
Yeah, but a nice job defensively to get to him and keep him short of the first. Out onto the field comes New Orleans. And that last drive, a long drive, but not just that. They had a great air attack going. Do they stick with that?
I would think that they would, because if they were confident enough to do it on the last drive, starting backed up in their own territory, why would you change anything? They've got to be confident about what they're presenting and continue to do so.
Yeah, because the secondary, they really look clueless.
And that was amazing because that drive went and went, no adjustments, and no big plays by the defense to knock the ball away. Yeah, let me pump out my chest a little bit, even though I'm not rooting for either team. That was a really nice defensive play. It's awfully fun to watch, even in an offensive game.
Now flags will come in. And I think this is against the Saints up front.
False start, offense.
This O-line's been great. They've got the big lead, so give them a pass there, I guess.
Yeah, I would think so, because if we were grading them on their performance in this game, a lot of pluses in their boxes so far.
And that false start penalty certainly not helping their cause here. 2nd down and long. Looking to throw. Moran. Over the middle, complete. It's Coleman. And he'll get to the 29-yard line, brought down there. A good pickup there. 18 yards as they get closer for 3rd down.
One thing I can say pretty safely, that route is not called if you don't have a guy who can throw the ball and put some mustard on it. Because if you're going to lollipop it in the middle of the field, bad things usually happen. It takes a strong-arm guy who can rifle it in there, and they were able to successfully complete that one.
Call it no gain there, and it leads to a 4th down.
I apologize in advance, partner, but the beef eaters on the interior of this D-line, you just know they were licking their chops on 3rd and short. And yes, they were rewarded with a tasty dish, stuffing that one short of a 1st down.
And a fair catch signaled for and taken just outside the 20-yard line. So a change of possession here on the punt. And the Bucs will get ready to go on offense. They start on the ground with Rawls. And he will fight his way forward to about the 23-yard line. Give him a couple on the carry there. 2nd and 8.
Well, we saw him there trying to get it to the outside, trying to get to the perimeter, but not a whole lot of room there. But there's got to be one positive to that. If you keep moving laterally, creases tend to develop as the game moves on, and they can run it back inside later.
They're going to look to throw. Nowhere to go here. He lost the football. Call it luck or skill, whatever the case is, they're feeling good about just keeping the football there.
Yeah, the biggest thing that they're calling it now, our ball. I mean, they don't care if it was luck or skill. Boy, the panic that jumps up in your chest when that ball's on the ground, whether you get it or your teammate gets it, just as long as you retain possession, that's all you're looking for.
He's got a man, complete. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. A gain of 39 that time.
You know I'm going to lean towards the defender, right? You know I'm going to do that.
I know.
That's a tough situation for him as I see it. But the truth of the matter is, that ball was not streaking towards him. Had a little arc on it. He's got to find a way to get his head around and make a play on the football.
3-19.
They'll look to throw here on 1st down. And this is caught off the deflection. The completion good for 3, and it's 2nd down.
Now that's a defensive coordinator's nightmare right there. You're covering everyone, and the guy's not even the intended receiver ends up making the play.
Right place, right time, I guess.
When that ball's tipped up in the air like that, you've got to go up and get it. Offense and defense, and in this case, the offense ended up grabbing it.
Now let's go. Green 39.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And that play going absolutely nowhere as he's belted before he could get out of the backfield. Call it a loss of 2 on the play. And that's going to bring up a 3rd down.
We just saw another example of how the defense is winning this game. Really at the point of attack, the offensive line's just getting pushed around. I think now as a play caller, you got to give them a little bit of help. Maybe keep your tight ends a little bit more. Maybe the running backs help you a little bit with the pass.
Under pressure here, and down he goes. Sacked back at about the 43-yard line.
Looks like another empty possession here, partner. And I don't think with 3 scores down in the 3rd quarter, they can truly afford any more the rest of the way.
No, especially the way their offense is sputtering. I think you're exactly right. They got to find some answers quickly. Here's Brian Anger now. He's been terrific so far. And this is away. It's a high kick, and he got all of it. Trying to get one more in here before the quarter breaks.
Watch it now, Barney. Set.
They start the drive on the ground. Kamara. Back now in Tampa. A lot of folks starting to make their way to the parking lot. Their guys trade. Big here to begin quarter number 4. From the 22, here's 2nd and 8. On the run, Darkwan. And not much there. Maybe a yard up to the 24. Charles, you said earlier this defense is probably going to need to hold these guys right around 20 or under that if they were going to have a chance. It was evident pretty early on that wasn't going to happen.
Yeah, they left 20 behind a long time ago in this game, didn't they? It looks like they're headed towards a big, big number. But 20 was the threshold because that kept them in the ball game and kept the pressure off of their own offense.
Now it's the backup, Bridgewater. A bullet throw, but incomplete. But not to get too overcritical there because he knows what he's doing, but his shoulders looked a little off kilter there when he threw that.
I don't think you're being overly critical there. You're just analyzing it, and he gets those shoulders right. That pass will go from incomplete to complete.
And they'll go ahead and down this one right on the chalk of the 20-yard line. With the Bucs offense making their way back out on the field, let's take a look at the playoff picture, Charles, coming into the weekend in the NFC. These guys had to punt their last possession, and that's become too familiar of a refrain. Too many of these drives just wound up going nowhere.
But you know how in baseball, when the pitcher gets a base hit and he's on base, they bring his jacket out to him to keep him warm? A lot of times the punter goes to the sideline, puts on sweatpants or a wrap over his leg to keep it warm. He might need a massage from the trainer right now from all the work he's getting. 7
yards, the pickup on the pitch and catch. Decent start to the drive, but let's face it, they need a lot of things to go right in a short amount of time, down 3 scores.
Yeah, they're going to run their 2-minute offense here in this game, but this is for future games. Can they get better and be ready for the next time, hopefully with a chance to win?
Set! Green 39! Green 39!
They'll set up a throw. He finds an opening past the 40. That's caught by Howard. And he'll take it to the 43-yard line. That one good for 16, and the drive will continue.
And after that completion, you can understand why so many teams in the league are emphasizing speed on defense at every position. The tight ends have created so many tough matchups now. If you can't run with a tight end as a linebacker, this is going to be the result every time.
A gain of 6 there on first. You got the big lead defensively. Willing to give them that underneath stuff, right?
And this is why you work on your tackling. Tackle them after the catch, inbounds, keep the clock running. Just go ahead and bleed the game out that way.
Firing quickly here, and that's complete. And he's free going down the left side. It's a foot race. Touchdown, Tampa Bay. A big play there. His second touchdown on the season. And the Bucs are able to cut into that deficit. As a former DB, you might not like to see that, but from a wide receiver's perspective, those are the plays they dream of.
Correct on both counts, all right? Because once he took off, I mean, let's face it, that should have been done in Big Sky Country. Aren't any speed limits out there? And off he went. Glad I wasn't the one trying to chase him.
This will be fielded at the 6. Solid return, pretty good field position. They'll start at the 32-yard line. Out onto the field comes New Orleans. They're out in front. Last time they had to punt it away. We'll see if they can add to their lead now.
They don't want to go out and punt it away again. This team now wants to get a cushion, put people away. They want to run their offense and have it end up in the end zone.
And he fumbled it. It's on the ground. And it's picked up by the Buccaneers. And they take possession of the football and have it at the 36-yard line.
Partner, that one looked like it was over. I mean, they had control, had the football, and the defense had to make a play in order to keep them in the game. That's exactly what they did.
And now that door ajar, 2-score game, so hold on here, not done in the 4th.
Let's go! Blue 90! Blue 90!
They'll try and start this drive in the air. They'll try and set up the screen. It's complete. And they're able to get this one past the 30 to the 25-yard line. They pick up 12 on the play there, and they move the chains. Decent start there to the drive. Big hill to climb, needing 2 touchdowns, also a 2-2-point conversion.
So, partner, how do you eat an elephant?
I don't eat an elephant. Who eats elephants?
Well, if you do it one bite at a time. That's the way they've got to play this, one play at a time. Yes, there's urgency, but they have to be careful as well.
Let's go with like a 50-ounce ribeye. One bite at a time.
All right, I'm with you.
Line of scrimmage, again the 25, 2nd and 10.
Hurry up, here we go!
Looking right sideline, but it's incomplete.
What's the old adage? Be quick, but don't hurry? Well, that went right out the window there. He was hurried, harassed. That ball had to be gotten rid of, otherwise he was going to get sacked.
The Bucs on 3rd down. They've converted 3 times in 8 chances. This is 3rd and 10.
Here we go now! Blue 90! Blue!
He'll look to throw. Letting one go deep for the end zone. So they took a shot there on third down, couldn't get it. Now it's fourth.
This defense was definitely alert to the possibility of the deep ball, and they were more than ready for it.
They've got the lead, fourth quarter. Maybe can expect more passes like that downfield.
Now let's go. Blue Lightning. Blue Lightning.
Got to try it here. He's back to throw. He's going to take a shot for the end zone. And they will not be able to hook up there. It's incomplete. Dirk Cutter's guys go for it, but come up empty. And the Saints will have the football back. So they really needed points here in a two-score game. Could not come away with anything there on fourth.
And while we know they're a little bit discouraged here, they can't check out of this game. You and I have called a good number of games over the course of our career where we've seen these types of situations. Teams get the ball back, and that miracle does occur. So they can't let that dream go just yet. They have to get stout on defense here.
And he loses the football a second time.
Wow, that ball gets knocked free, but a teammate comes along and scoops it up. It's almost like baseball. Guys at bat, people are on base in scoring position. One guy doesn't get him home. The next guy comes through and picks him up.
And avoids the turnover. A second down throw for Bridgewater. It's complete to Snead. 75 yards receiving for him now. It's a first down.
I think it all came together there. In-breaking route, drove it with excellent pace. Money throw right there to move the sticks.
Five down.
They'll run with Darkwa. And he's able to get across midfield and down into Buccaneer territory. A solid run on first down. Gain of 7 leaves him with a 2nd and 3. Now, I'm guessing you'd say this is kind of the key here. Grind out some yardage, work on that clock, see if you can continue to tick it down.
Definitely, you want to bleed things out at this point, right? Continue to possess the football, gain some yardage, and put the onus on the defense. Do they have to use timeouts? What are they going to do to stop you? You're taking charge.
Now a toss play. It's Breida. And he's going to be taken down here with a penalty flag on the field.
Holding offense.
That one whistled against a big right tackle.
You'd think being able to fire out and block it'd be a lot easier to not commit a holding penalty, but it's tough to keep those guys right in front, isn't it?
Now they face a 2nd and long following the holding penalty. From the gun, Bridgewater. And that is incomplete. Trying to get it to Willie Snead there. And it's 3rd down.
I think he's a little trigger happy right there, and it turned into an ill-advised throw into their zone.
Well, we know he has confidence. He'll throw it any place, anytime, anywhere. That time it fell incomplete. Third and long for Bridgewater. Looking here for Smith downfield. And a shot taken on 3rd down, unsuccessful. 4th down now. Well, they haven't had a whole lot of success in the passing game here. Now, in the second half, he's thinking, I guess maybe just take a shot deep.
I think you're right. Almost looking for a bailout, isn't he? Can my receiver go up and make a big play for me? Can I create a penalty downfield, maybe pick up an interference call and get that yardage downfield? Anything trying to get going again, but you're right. He definitely took a shot.
Here we go now. Green 39.
They'll come out throwing here on first down. Going to throw right side here, complete. And he gets this one just shy of the 40. They'll mark him down at the 39. The drive starting play, a good one. Give him 19. Now, correct me if I'm wrong. You know, you're down 2 scores. I don't think you need to rush just yet, but you can't take your time either.
Yeah, even if you don't want to commit to full 2-minute offense, you have to up the tempo, up the urgency. Maybe you're starting to call 2 plays in a huddle each time you snap the ball.
Give him 12 yards on that one. It earns him a fresh set of downs.
All right, this is the time of the game where they're down a couple of scores, and they've really got to get some yards in chunks, and they know the defense doesn't want to give those up, but they've got to find a way to take them anyway.
Now the question is, can they string a few of those together? Now a nice play defensively on first down as this is knocked away and incomplete.
Well, we're not playing 3 yards in a cloud of dust football anymore. I kind of get why those old school coaches sometimes didn't want to throw the football, because if it's popped up in the air, it almost turns into slow motion, and both sides trying to get to the football, and you're holding your breath wondering whether it's going to go good or bad for your team.
And he'll take it down shy of the 45 at the 46. So the screen good for only 2. Now it's 3rd down.
I thought that wasn't a bad time to call the screen. I thought late game, down on the scoreboard, had to figure they were expecting a pass.
Nowhere to go here. He lost the football. The Saints say they have it, and they do.
Brandon, I don't want to violate any of our broadcasting rules by declaring a game over before it's over, but that one, that puts them in real jeopardy there.
Absolutely. It was a 2-possession game. It is a 2-possession game at this stage in the 4th. They needed points out of that drive.
And obviously now, no chance at all to get those points that they so desperately needed.
Here's Darkwood. And a penalty flag down as he gets only about a yard. And let's listen in on the call.
Illegal block in the back. Offense.
So this will be accepted as it moves the offense backwards. Bridgewater now from the 50. The throw to the left side, caught by Coleman. And he'll be brought down at the 45-yard line. That throw good for 4. It's 2nd down.
I always laugh when people say, what's the toughest route to defend? And I'm like, any of them, especially if it's a good receiver. That makes things very difficult. But when you're running a drag route, something short, shallow, going through defenders, using guys almost as screens in order to get open, that makes things tough for guys trying to get to the football.
Time for a break. We'll come back and see this one out after this. So it's Saints football as we get you reset. And you'd have to figure they're just looking to burn these final 2 minutes away and get out of here with a victory. Bridgewater now on 2nd down. And he almost had it defensively. Could have been a game changer there in this second half. Instead, it's 3rd down.
I think he's taking an awful chance with the football right there. You've got to lead, you've got to protect it, and he's taking chances putting it out there in a little bit of jeopardy.
Especially in a spot like this, 4th quarter, as you said, trying to cling to that advantage.
Yeah, that one probably should have been picked, huh?
Over the middle, the catch by Coleman. Whistles now and a timeout. So defensively, they burn it here with 1:51 left. Not totally home free yet, but it's looking good as they come up 1st and 10. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he's going to get this one down to the 30. The Bucs going to go ahead and use the 2nd of their timeouts as they'll talk things over prior to this upcoming 2nd down play. So 2nd and 9, and you'd have to figure just about all 11 probably crashing the line here. The D can only stop it one more time as they take the knee. And now we're going to get a timeout here called by the defense, as they'll talk it over here before what will be an important 3rd down. And they take a knee. Now Lutz for the field goal try. This to make it a 3-score game late. Oh, they get to the football. It's blocked.
But when it all comes together and you get the field goal block that's been designed, that's been drawn up, everyone has to feel good about it on that side of the ball. How about that one there? To the left side, knew what they had. That's where they wanted to be, and they got their designated guy turned free.
They'll come out throwing here to start the drive. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory. 10 yards there to start the drive, and just enough by about the length of the football for a first down. Now on first down, he'll drop to throw it. And he's going to be hit and taken down. Back right around the 48-yard line. Clock running. The Bucs try to go quickly and get set. And he clocks it with just over 30 seconds left. The Bucs on third down. They've converted a third of their opportunities, 3 for 9. This is going to be 3rd and 13.
Here we go now. Green 39. Green 39.
They'll set up to throw. And this is intercepted, and that should do it. Picked off by Marcus Williams. And the return will be stopped at the 34-yard line.
Obviously disappointing, but you had to go for broke here, down 2 scores. So that forced you to make some throws you did.
Now the Saints offense, they get ready to go back to work here. The clock cannot be stopped here. Defense can't do anything. So kneel it down, take it home.
No doubt about it. It's what you practice for in winning situations each and every week. Victory formation. Take a knee and go on into the locker room and celebrate.
Call it a victory. Well, I know at points of this when you wanted to close your eyes because of all the points that were being put on the scoreboard. You're a defensive guy, but it was a fun little track meet, wasn't it?
It was, and you know the people who really enjoyed this game? They're the ones that like going to batting practice at the Major League Baseball parks, right? Seeing the 14-11 game, that sort of deal, that's right up their alley with what we saw in this one.
So for New Orleans, the final 2 weeks are going to tell the story for them as they move to 9.